What is fear? Where do we get it from, and why does it differ from a person to another? Well, let me tell you a story about three little twins who lived their lives a long time ago, where everything was peaceful and humans were better. The three brothers were raised by an old lady who promised to take care of them after the death of their mother. The kids never knew their mother and always thought that the old lady was the one who brought them to see the relaxing sunsets and feel the anger behind the ocean's waves and smell the fresh grass after a rainy, depressing day. But all that didn't seem to have a meaning to the twins when they grew up a bit. See, the kids had dreams to believe in and a whole world to discover after the tough childhood they had with the old woman. In their 16th birthday, they all agreed to make the best out of their lives and try to conceive what their minds made them dream of. Let's start with the first kid, Wasim, with the amazing scar on his arm, which took the shape of a lightning breaking through the endless sky. The kid wanted to sail and see what's beyond the unknown. He was always curious to know more about everything, and that is why the scar is there. But that's not the only thing he had in his childhood, which he considered as a curse. See, now you'd probably say that the old lady did that to him, but no. Actually, in Wasim's 12th birthday, he had the opportunity to go fishing with one of his favorite villagers, who always talked with him about his adventures in the sea and the amazing creatures he saw. But that doesn't matter compared to the adventure Wasim had in that day, where he learned to navigate and understand the places of different stars, and while everything seemed right, the experience was pretty instructive and fruitful to the kid. A sudden wave hit the boat from nowhere, causing the disaster he calls the curse of my life. Now, enough talking about Wasim. Let's get to know more about Jacob, because he also had dreams and always had the desire to discover. Yes, it is about discovering too, but matter of fact, for Jacob, it is absolutely different, because he could have traveled the whole world without stepping out of his room. But in one of his regular isolated sessions, a couple of questions crossed his mind, and that was the turning point. See, the kid never had a problem in asking questions that he could manage to find an answer for them by his own. But since that particular moment, he sort of jumped to conclusions, shocking ones, that even the smartest of us needs help to overcome what he faced. The kid never had enough courage nor will to ask ever again. Is it getting a little bit confusing? Well, trust me, everything will get better when we talk about Salah, the perfect one, who always tried to impress the old lady and be up to her expectations. The kid had something to do in his life, although he hated it to the death, and that's because of his ego, which took control of him. He was against his brothers all the time and never tried to help them. The lady taught him that. She filled him with anger, till the day of their 16th birthday. Remember when they all agreed to make the best out of their lives? It was the day all the three brothers waited for, yet never expected it to be so soon. The old lady dies in that day, leaving behind her only one gap, Salah, who felt pretty useless unlike Wasim and Jacob, who managed to look for other things far away from their interests, which Salah doesn't even have. So, I believe we started the story with three random questions. The first one was, what is fear? Well, it is an emotional reaction that affects our behaviors, and it leads us to whether run away or hide and a bunch of other things. In this situation, each and every brother's life simulated a definition of fear. For Wasim, it was pretty much about hiding and never let his feet get in a boat ever again, so basically, he feared the ocean's waves. For Jacob, it was a life-changing experience because of fear, and now he will never ever let that side of his personality out again. And for Salah, this one I believe is the most misleading part in my story, because Salah feared his ego. Oh, trust me, this sounds illogical to you, but not to me, because human beings are pretty weird and complicated. And for where do we get fear from? Well, the three of them had it from an experience, a discovery, or even a thought that differs from a person to another, because none of them lived the same life, although they are twins, but each situation they faced left an obstacle in their brains that we human beings call fear. So that was the story. Hope you liked the topic. I really tried to make this week's episode about something I'm facing nowadays and mix it with a little bit of curiosity, and that's what I ended up with. And as we always say, make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms, and see you next week.